And to put the dollar value into perspective, Congress is essentially saying that the citizens of East St. Louis are worth 16 times more than the people of Orland Park. They're saying the citizens of Chicago are worth 8 times more than the people of Orland Park. Oak Park has got about 52,000 people, a little over, because this is the last census data is what it's based off. We've got almost 58,000 people. We're getting 5 million, they're getting 38 million. They have a higher household income than we do. Evanston, home of Northwestern, is getting 43 million, or about 7 times more per person than we're getting. So that's what's happening. And I'm going to have more comments on this on the resolution, as you might imagine, but that's what's happening. Trustee Maloney.
I think Kevin pretty much answered most of my questions I had, and you just hit the topic that I was looking at. And it's amazing how you look at this and how the CDBG equation can be, the inputs can be tweaked, and that's where the money flows. It's disturbing, to say the least.
And it's legislative. It's the Treasury can't do anything about it. It's by law. So your congressman voted for this. Both of the congressmen of Orland Park voted to do this to you. To be very perfectly clear, they voted to do this to you. And Tinley Park, by the way, is also getting less. And all the south suburbs are getting $135.94. The city of Chicago is getting $700. This just continues and continues and continues and continues to ignore this region. Bolingbrook less than average. Tinley Park less than average. You see the trend. And even the towns the two of the towns that got over $135.94, there were, as you said, 35 of them. The bottom 2 of those 35, Oaklawn and Joliet. So it just doesn't change. I mean, this region is ignored, and Orland Park will survive it. But what about the other communities? Any other comments on this? So revenue reduction, just to put this in perspective, is $8.7 million. Okay, and that's based on the formula. We actually probably a little bit, because we budget conservatively, we weren't $8.7 million short. We were what, about 5?
Right.
Right. I'm just saying we were about 5, right? Just so the public can understand. But if you recall, way back when COVID started, and I had this conversation with George and the then board. We had this discussion, and we said we're not going to hit the panic button. We had made a lot of good choices. We'd taken over $40 million of debt off the books. We didn't need to panic. We still cut where it made sense, but we didn't cut capital expenditures. We didn't quit fixing our roads or our parks, because that would just kick the can down the road. So we trimmed some things that we could, but for the most part, we operated as normal, is what we did, because we were in a good fiscal position because of the 3 years prior to that. And it's really important to point out that we did that. And the other thing, and I'm sure George would not have said this, my comment was, expect nothing from the feds, expect nothing from the state, and we're going to operate as if we're going to just go on and we're going to get no help. Because the last place they're going to want to help is a town like Orland Park, even though we were impacted more by revenue losses than any other town south of I-88. I think there's no doubt about that, given our size and the like. So, but that was our position. Because of that, taking that position and operating with the expectation of getting nothing, now we're able to take the $5 million, yeah, we're getting shorted, but what we are getting, and we're going to be able to use that for something that's important for the whole community, our parks. So it's because of all the decisions that we made over the last couple of years, including the previous board, that put us in this position so that we can do this.